I hear all the time people say, well, just forgive that person. You know, oftentimes people can use forgiveness as a spiritual bypass from actually having to do the work. People I work with and I've talked to in the past, they say, well, I've forgiven that, Tim. I really forgiven that. My question is, though, how can you forgiven it if you haven't really processed it? You can't sit in a park with somebody and for the first time in your entire life, acknowledge that something happened to you that was probably the most traumatic thing in your life, and simultaneously in that day forgive that event. You can't put the cart before the horse, so you can't forgive something that you haven't processed. You can't forgive something that you haven't worked through. So how can you forgive it if you really haven't quite understand how it affected your life? And if you're using forgiveness as a spiritual bypass, then you really haven't paid attention to how that thing is still showing up in your life without your permission. So my question is, have you forgiven it? Or have you dissociated from it? Have you forgiven it? Or are you using forgiveness as some type of bypass to actually having to feel the feelings and do the work?